As someone who migrated recently, I would like to share the steps I took to make that happen. So the first thing that is important is I was in KVK. I was fighting, but I did not have enough troops to be at the power that I wanted to be when I in the end I decided to migrate. So the first thing I've done is kill my troops. Now the fighting was done at the time, really, and the only thing was to do was to kill them off a city. Not proud of it, but that's what I did. I killed enough so I could be around 70 million, and I decided to fill my hospital with T5s so I can go under 65 million. The reason I went under 65 million is because it costed 35 passport pages. Each passport costs 600k alliance credits. I've had enough for the 35 amount, so 21 million was my aim. And the way I've done that is by joining the One Troop builds, donating to Alliance Technology, and a good chunk of it was just for simply buying the Ethelflaed heads from the expedition shop and just selling all my things from the Alliance shop as well. So all these fragments, blueprints, and Ethelflaed heads as well. They're I probably gained like 6 billion credits from just the shop alone. So it is really something that adds up, and I recommend that you make this a habit. Just buying the heads, and even if you are not planning to migrate anywhere soon, just stockpile them. Make that a habit. Join the one true builds. It won't hurt you. It will benefit you and the whole kingdom. The third thing was, well, I had to make the migration happen before the troop return. I've got under 65 million, and in order to really migrate, you have to go into your home kingdom. You have to first get rid of your resources, and you have to leave the alliance, scroll up, and see this globe here. And in the top right corner, there is a search bar. Type in your kingdom. Get in touch with the king. Try to get in as fast as possible, and you're good to go. Now, there are a couple ways to get more value from migration. Like, for example, if you decide to get your hospital filled, which you should do, you could, if you're higher powered, what you could do is change your civilization if you have couple tokens on hand. If you do not have it, I do not recommend it because token costs 2k, 2 million alliance credits, so that's expensive. But if you do have a couple, you could switch to Byzantium for more hospital capacity, so you can fill more troops and therefore lose more power. But that is something a higher power player should really try to do. Second thing is once you do have your hospital filled, in order to get some speed ups, what you could do is if you have access siege units, place them in a node, have someone attack it, get some speed ups, and get some value. This used to be really good, but nowadays it's not as good. So it's an option, but I don't think it's really attractive as it once was. And that begs the question, should you really migrate frequently? And honestly, no. I migrated 3 times in 2 years, and I think each migration was harder than the previous, just because of the resources and not because of the kingdom or whatever, just because it gets annoying to farm back the amount, and each KVK you're basically having less resources, especially cards. I used to have lots of cards, but this is my third migration, and this is what it looks right now. Not very, not very appealing, but that's just the reality. And I wouldn't even migrate if the people I played with didn't migrate either. So it's a tricky question, but if you are in a good kingdom, you should try to stick around as much as possible unless it gets really bad really fast. So you should always have some kind of emergency credits, whether it be from like I said, the Alliance shop, but also try to be in good graces with the leadership because if you do not have your own alliance, which is something you could do in the new kingdom, make your own alliance. If you have lots of farms, join them all in the alliance, generate enough credits to make the pits, and then slowly grind out your credits over the course of months, possibly years. But that is a long-term project and something I haven't done. Also, there are some ways to make this migration even cheaper, and that is to go inactive for 15 or 30 days. But I do not recommend going that on your main accounts. I think you lose too much value. But for some like farm accounts, I think it is a great strategy. If you have like really low powered and if you decide to make some in a new kingdom, you could just make them go inactive and migrate them in. It is an option, but then again, it is up to you. So, to summarize, if you decide to migrate, whether or not, you should always focus on joining the one troop builds because it's beneficial for the kingdom. Always donate to the Alliance technology and always try to buy the expedition shop, the Ethelfed heads, and try to stockpile as much as you can because they're a very good source of Alliance credits. If you want cheaper migration, you have to fill your hospital so you can go under a certain bracket, but also you can kill troops if you're in a KVK. If you're outside of KVK, then I would not really recommend because you will not get any troops back. So it is 100% rate, and ideally you should wait for KVK because you will get half back. And if you're planning to migrate to uh, a same kingdom in the KVK, you will have a cheaper migration there too. But I don't think that's very cool thing to do in my opinion. And I think that'd be it. If you guys like the video, subscribe, join our Discord, and I will see you in the next one.